Moscow. You know, Kazuya on a tier list, I'll put him somewhere here, but it's like the heat, it just defines this character almost. It's just so fucking strong. What's up, guys? TheMainManSWE here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always, and welcome to the Heat tier list, the new universal system mechanic that sort of defines Tekken 8, I would say, where we either land a specific attack, typically one out of 5 or 6 attacks, predetermined attacks called Heat Engagers, where we land that and we get a full chunky heat bar. We get plus 17 frames, or is it 18 frames? I don't remember exactly. Or you press 2 buttons, you know, and you get the get off me heat burst. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to heat. It's a super, super powerful mechanic. It sort of elevates a lot of characters. In this video, I'm gonna talk about who has the best heat versus who has like the worst heat. We're gonna go from S to A minus because everyone has, you know, shit to do in this game. I don't think anyone is gonna be like F tier, you know, C tier, whatever. Although this one we can probably straight up just call B tier, I think, because you know, there are some characters where heat is actually, I would actually say, pretty underwhelming. One thing we can say though is that certain characters are elevated greatly through heat, where I would say I'm gonna get into it. Like Kazuya, I think, is probably around here. I think my own character here, when I think about his juicy heat, I'm just like, I don't know if any other character can touch... I haven't thought about it too much. I'm going to compare them to one another. Typically, my tier lists are like hours long. I don't want this video to be fucking 2 hours. So I'm going to try to be rather quick about this. But I think Kazuya's heat is unbelievably fucking strong, and I don't know if anyone can touch him right now. But then someone who has very underwhelming heat, if you want to start with the polar opposites, the extremes, I would put Kazuya somewhere around there. Maybe we can start with Lee. Typically a character people mention a lot when it comes to underwhelming heat, because what happens to Lee when he goes into heat? Well, all of your cardinal attacks require no execution anymore. You know when you do like forward 4-1 with Lee, or acid rain, his 10 frame punish? It's a very tricky input, multiple just frames. Well, when you've popped heat with Lee, you don't need to do the just frame anymore. You can mash it out, but it consumes some of your heat. If you do the proper just frame, you regain heat bar. And it's like, oh, great. Okay, so that's nice. I get some execution help. And if I land a just frame, I regain some heat. But what can you do with the heat? Oh, it can help you do a just frame. But then if you drop the input, it consumes heat. So there it's like, okay, so where's my net positive here? Oh, you get a low heat smash. Okay, but that one is launch punishable and does no damage and is arguably the worst heat smash in the game. I'd rather do a slide. I'd rather do back free, you know, something like that. The best thing about his heat is that one of the best heat engagers and demon post-style attacks in the game, forward 3, becomes a launcher. You know, if you heat dash out of it, obviously, it becomes a launcher, or it becomes, you know, +5 on block with the heat dash. But I think that's it, and that is, in my opinion, really, really lackluster. Probably the shittiest heat in the game, I would say, but not a bad character. Interestingly, we can contrast this to Jin, where, in my opinion, he also in heat, you know what his heat is about. Many other characters, they go into heat, they get guard breaks, they get new strings, they get new attacks. You know, the character changes a lot. What is Jin's heat? Oh, my Omen stance. But no one uses it. You know exactly what happens when this guy is in heat. He waits a little bit. What happens? He pops his heat smash. And why wouldn't he? It's in my opinion, best heat smash in the fucking game. That's his heat. Or he does a demon paw heat dash. Demon paw is stupid. Or he does forward 3-1 and he hit confirms it. Okay, it connected. Heat dash. The heat specific utility, like Omen stance, in my opinion, is not good. I never use it. His heat is kind of dog shit. It's just do your heat smash. But the thing is, the heat smash is so fucking stupid And Demon Po is so stupid that the character sort of ends up here. Because Heat Smash is Heat utility. And the Heat Smash is just so fucking stupid. If it connects, he wall splats you from one football field away. And it's half-life with even the most basic of combos. It's half-life. If you block that Heat Smash, you still, into the wall you go like this. And you break your spine and all your vertebrae are just disintegrated. And you're minus what? Minus 8? Minus 7 to minus 9 something. Or no, does he straight up get a wall crush? For minus 18? You're not gonna press any buttons, that's for sure. One of the dumbest interactions you will ever see in this game is you with your back towards the wall and Jin goes, Heat Burst. It's not as insufferable as it used to be because Heat Bursts are no longer straight up homing. But him just doing a Heat Burst, bagoosh, into +2 if it hits or +1 on block, and then popping his Heat Smash. And it's just, this character is just full of interactions where you have no defensive options. He's full of these interactions, and his Heat is no exception. So I'm going to put him at A+, even though he has so little defined utility in Heat. Like, in terms of original Heat moveset. This guy, his dad, full of original moveset when he's in Heat, right? You have endless things to think about. The character completely changes when he's in Heat. Jin does not. Lee does not. Yeah, let's just discuss Kazuya at S. So, as soon as he turns into Devil, what does he have? And I can assure you, you haven't even thought about all of the options. Like the fact that his Devil Fist, which is his most important neutral tool, has more tracking to his weak side when he's in Heat. And a lot of people don't know this. It's much harder to sidewalk left now. Much stricter, if even possible. I've only been able to step it a few times. So Devil Fist, his most important attack, does double damage when he's in Heat. It goes from 20 to 40. He can opt to hold back now, since 105, to cancel that to get a wall splat. He can launch you with it by heat dashing out of it. So either +5 or straight up launcher. And it's arguably one of the best demon poses in the game. And again, more tracking when he's Devil. He gets access to Devil Twister. Besides step 2, he gets access to Up Laser. He gets access to Oki Laser, which is down back 1+2, which is a super strong laser. Not enough Kazuyas use this. The Oki Laser that hits grounded. His Hell Sweep, arguably the best Hell Sweep in the game, Kazuya CD41, he gets the Heaven's Gate extension, which he can cancel by holding back to wall splat you or get the best Hell Sweep Oki, or he can knock you into the ground and go for Laser or Devil Fist or Steel Pedal Oki mix-up. He also gets access to Shikue, which is a panic button. Kazuya's never had a panic button. When he's Devil, he has not only not a panic button, but he has the best panic button in the game. People don't understand how strong Shikue is, but I'm gonna break it down to you. It's a power crush, so it's an armor attack, power crush that hits mid with tremendous reach, is safe on block at -9, and it hits grounded, and if you do a jumping attack, it bounds you. Does that sound like a balanced attack to you? It used to cost half your heat bar, but since 105, it's a third. So this means if you land a heat engager, you have access now to triple Shikue. Triple Shikue. And this is where you see some Kazuya players do, Shikue, like that, and it's safe. So then you can do another one, and you risk nothing. It is straight up broken, and a lot of people don't know about it. Also in Heat, his down back 1-2 is beefed up in that he can now hit confirm it. If you're at the wall and Kazuya does down back 1-2, if it hits you, it's gonna wall splat. If you block it, I can, on reaction, confirm the block and make it safe by dashing out of it. Downward 1-2, which is mid-high neutral on block, I can do that. And if I think you're going to block it, I do nothing. But no, it's not. It's you can react to this. If you see it hit, you can react to the hit and turn it into a launcher to dash out of it, to not waste your heat and heat dash. Kazuya, when he turns into Devil, it's a completely different character. And in my opinion, the utility never ends. The way his combos beef up with CD3 into laser. And that CD3 on block into laser does a gigantic amount of chip damage, and he gets +6 frames. I wouldn't be surprised if Kazuya has the best heat in the game. Oh, and he gets a super good heat smash. Very underrated heat smash, by the way. It's like a hell sweep that's -14 on block, but has way more reach, way more tracking to both sides, and wall breaks. It's a hard wall break, so it will always wall break. Only -14 on block. It's faster than a hell sweep in that it always comes out at 18 frames. Where a hell sweep at best will come out at 20 frames. And people never fuzzy guard it due to its speed and the fact that Kazuya never crouches in the animation. Some people, as soon as they see a crouch dash, they fuzzy guard. Hell sweep or mid. You have no idea how many people will never guard that heat smash if you set it up with a down back 4 or a forward 4 into it. It completely fucks up their fuzzy timing. 50-50 fuzzy timing. So his heat smash is also incredibly underrated. Kazuya on a tier list, I'll put him somewhere here, but it's like the heat, it just defines this character almost. It's just so fucking strong. Oh god, this is already 13 minutes. Sorry, I need to step this up. I can't do this all day. Lidia, in general, I've spent very little time with. Her heat, anytime she pops heat, she buffs her own character. She has this install mechanic that carries through between rounds where it can go from 0 to 3. As soon as it hits 3, and again, this is every time you pop heat and you do some heat-specific attack, it powers up by a factor of 1. Can go up to 3, and this stays in between rounds, the full duration of a match. This is completely unique. I think she's the only one that can do this. Eddie's power-up mechanic goes away between rounds. Now, this resembles Manon, right, in Street Fighter 6, and it powers up her command throw, it powers up her down back 3 on counter hit, it powers up her heat, Heaven and Earth, unblockable Heaven and Earth 2 option, that's high damage mid, plus on block, +7 on block, I think. So that's nice.
Will you shut up, Hellas?
Fuck you. But in general, the heat seems to me to be about go into Heaven and Earth stance, this one, and then do either unblockable or plus unblock mid. That seems to be it. So basically, find yourself in that position, apply a 50-50, which it seems pretty strong though. I don't know if I want to put her higher than that. And then we have Reina, who in heat gets access. Every transition she does into Heaven's Wrath she now parries. Auto parries mids and highs. Does a lot of damage. Downward 1-2 is one of the best heat engagers in the game, in my opinion. And that's now a knockdown or, plus on block with a heat dash. One of the best moves in the game, even after the nerf. Raiden, forward 4-2. Forward 4-2 free in heat is pretty insane. Iron Hand turns into a launcher. Her stance, Heaven's Wrath, Hell Sweep, that heat smash is super strong. It's got a ton of fucking reach. Normal heat smash has a ton of fucking reach. I would say it's strong, but I don't know if I would put it in S tier. Yeah, free 4-4-4 is very strong. Yeah, string extensions. Maybe it is S tier, but she has so many fucking options. I'll put her in S tier for now. Nina, what the fuck does Nina do in heat? I mean, all I see Arslan do once he has heat with Nina is to get the safe power crush forward 1+2. That's it. Forward 1+2 and shoot guns. She's an S tier character, but it's her general moveset. I don't think it's the heat. Huge chip damage. Yeah, but the guns are always high as well, and you can duck them. Lord Dragunov. Arguably the best character in the game. But do people even use heat for? People do heat smash, which is now steppable. 14 frame launcher in heat in back 4 free. This character is insanely fucking dumb, but I don't think it's the heat that does it. It's everything else. Heat smash is good, but it's much weaker than it was before, prior to nerf. 1-to-1 heat dash. His heat combos are incredibly strong, though. Yeah, the character's up here in terms of strength, but I don't know. I don't think his heat is that. I mean, and he can do while running 2, etc. into a tackle, blue spark tackle. Shaheen has seen a little bit of a drop-off lately, right? In usage. You know what? It's probably due to these guys losing their vortex. Slide guaranteed follow-up no longer gives a vortex. To be honest, I'm not that well versed in Shaheen, but he gets guard break into blender. I'm gonna put him in A for now. King is easily on S. As soon as he is in heat, he can access a fully armored Jaguar sprint whenever he wants. That sprint is stupid fucking strong. His heat smash is stupid fucking strong, does a gigaton of damage. When he is in heat, if he lands on RKO or any other like these specific throws like Giant Swing, Blue Spark Giant Swing, Muscle Buster, Tijuana Twister, Pedigree, he will regain a ton of heat energy. King is super strong in heat, and it's one of the reasons he's, in general, a very strong character. Might be the best heat in the game, but I would still put Kazuya above him, because Kazuya is just so many dumb options. Alisa, S tier in heat, goes into my chainsaw. Everything is plus. Everything chips like fucking crazy. Has one of the best heat engager strings. She goes like four and dashes out of it 1,000,000 chip damage when she's in heat. Super dumb, low effort, shit for brains, Muppet tier garbage. And it's super strong. Law. Marshmut Law. Oh god. No, he probably has the best heat in the game. Let's see. When he goes in heat, his all-powerful nunchuck, which Rip apparently didn't know. I mean, Rip is a legendary Law player, Tekken veteran, even won an Evo, I think. He did a rebuttal to my Law video where he was like, "Main man, what you talking shit about Law?" And this is my Rip voice. "You talking shit about Law? His nunchuck doesn't fucking track. Main man doesn't know this." And then he tests it out in practice mode. Well, it does track. They're just like, yeah, dude, you're the Law main. But so yeah, Law's nunchuck is a very strong attack. It's like a steel pedal. It hits grounded, bagoosh, flips you, but now, you know, pushes you far away. Thank God that's gone. But it has a ton of reach, mid, -13 on block, tracks really well to both sides, but you can't sidewalk it to one side. I think it's sidewalk right, to beat it. Tracks fully to the other side, and it counter it launches. It's a very, very good attack. If he spaces it well, from like a one backdash away, a lot of characters can't punish that. When he's in heat, this same move launches on normal hit, as all the other properties, launches on normal hit and is -8 on block. Yeah! Then he can heat dash out of his upward 3, which is his unseeable mid, that he 50-50s with now. He used to have a very committal 50-50 in prior games, where if you were crouching and you were like, "Hey, I'm gonna do a slide," you're baiting a slide, you know, when they're teabagging in your face like this, and they want you to crouch so they can while standing 2. That while standing 2 is like -18. If he does while standing 1, to get damage out of that, he has to go mid-high. So it's very, very risky business. But in Tekken 8, he has upward 3 for the safe mid heat engager there to mix you up with. That was big for Law to get that. And that obviously turns into a launcher when he's in heat, if he heat dashes out of it. So that again is very strong for Law. His heat smash is what, 14 frame startup, mid, insane reach, wall splat, huge damage. Doesn't he auto parry now from DSS? I think he auto parries. His 14 frame startup string, back 1-2, if he hits you with this on counter hit when he's in heat, he can easily counter hit confirm this and add the final 2. This does 1,000,000 damage and launches you. Also, he has a 10 frame launcher now when he is in heat. He does 1-1, and again, this is hit confirmable. He'll do... This is arguably the most broken shit that is in Tekken 8. I know that's a big statement, but this is pretty fucking broken. Law is standing like this next to you. He does 1-1. If he sees that you pressed into this, he adds the final 1 and heat dashes, and he has now counter hit confirmed a 10-frame launcher. 10-frame launcher. Yes. Panders does heat smash or my guard break. I don't know. Where do we put this? Here? In tier with those guard breaks? Kuma gets access to a Bear Wind God Fist, Furry Fist, and it's very strong. So A+. Xiao Yu is insanely fucking broken with heat. It probably goes something like this. If she's not there, to be honest. Insanely fucking broken in heat. So for some reason she gets this 4-2-1-2 string on you on the wall. Boof, boof. Delays the last hit. Boof. Hits unscaled, and when she gets a guaranteed up back 4, boof, 1,000,000 damage. This character shouldn't have high damage, by the way. That's how they balanced her in the past. I've told you 100 times. Her moveset is so uniquely stupid and setup heavy that, guys, we can't give this character high damage. It doesn't work with this type of Oki and resets. She can't have high damage. It's the same with Yoshi. But for some reason with Tekken 8, everyone should get high damage. Her Hypnotist mix-ups, it's the dumbest 50-50 in the game. She does million strings and setups, goes into Hypnotist, and she looks like a complete fucking buffoon. You've seen this. And here she has a 20-frame fast, unseeable Snake Edge. That is -13 on block. Do I need to say more? Or she mixes this with a mid that wall splats. Knocks. I mean, this mix-up at the wall is just goodbye. Goodbye. Feng Wei. This is an interesting one. Shoulder is very strong in heat. Shoulder heat dash. He has his Tornado, which is very, very strong. But he back one knocks down a normal hit. But the Tornado no longer gives a launching 50-50 at least. He gets a guard break. I'm going to put him at A+. I think his shoulder alone, you know, with 13 frame startup into heat dash, that alone is like super good. Super good. Now we are at Bryan. Infinite Snake Eyes, which is his install until he runs out of heat. I'm going to put him in S tier. Bryan is a strong character in general. A character that does not belong in S tier in general, but maybe belongs in A+, I would say. But when he is in heat, he gets infinite Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes just means gigaton damage. It means dick. It means Neo Soul Eraser. You know, when he does 3-4 into that follow-up punch, that Soul Eraser. It's very, very strong. You can use it in very clever Oki setups, which too few Bryan mains do, by the way. He gets his Mach Breaker parry in 4-1+2. His Heat Smash now is really good, I think. Taunt Heat Smash actually does a fuck ton of damage now and always floor breaks. Heat Engagers are very good, be it Core Circle 4-1+2, Heat Dash out of that, or Sidestep 2-1. Just a really, really scary character in my opinion. And his Heat Burst, I do want to say, is one of the best in the game. It has a fuck ton of reach, hits very low, gives him his Heat Burst, gives him insane combo utility. Arguably best combos in the game, and the Heat Burst is a factor in that. And being in heat factors into that with the Snake Eyes damage. So his heat is undeniably really, really strong. This brings us to Yoshi, who I'm also going to put in S tier. Strong Heat Smash, 1-1. Completely fucking broken when he's in heat. And again, a lot of people don't know this. This is his high mid check where he does jab sword sweep. Like that. When he's in heat, this is a 10 frame wall splat. It chips a ton. And the second hit is a counter hit launcher. So yeah, if he jab checks you like this, when he's in heat, if you press into the second swing, you get launched. That alone is pretty fucking dumb. And then, you know, he gets these tremendous frames from his helicopter move, tremendous chip. Oh, and his, oh my god, his heat flash, bigger hitbox, is now a launcher. This character probably belongs somewhere here. It's just straight up broken, I think. And recovers health as well. Yeah, he's somewhere around there, yeah. Oh, I thought I was gonna say Kazuya had the best heat, but nah, he doesn't. But he's up there. He is up there. Not gonna downplay that motherfucker. Or how sexy he is in his beach gear. Yeah. Leroy goes into heat, and then he goes, ah! Have you seen Ip Man? Have you seen Ip Man? He's Chip Man. The Grandmaster of Chip. Leroy Smith. This is a difficult one. I don't know if I want to put him in S, to be honest. I don't know. Somewhere around there. Jun in Heat. Oh my god. Let's just say Vanilla Tekken 8. Make no mistake. Like Vanilla Tekken 8. Yeah. Current Tekken 8. After a few balance patches. The projectile is significantly weaker. It's no longer homing. She no longer regains health no matter what. It is still a decent enough heat smash. From stance, she has a low heat smash. That's strong. And it's only like -12 on block, I think. It's actually really good. She doesn't lose health anymore on her lose health projectiles. She can now do forward 2 and make it safe on block. But hit confirm it into a heat dash if she wants to. So forward 2 is now a safe launcher with heat dash. And that's really good. So let's just say A+ on Lady June. And then we have Lili. She would have been S tier, but she lost her Rabbit Vortex. The Rabbit Vortex is gone. They nerfed that. All the mid options no longer cause a wall crush. That's also a nerf. And her heat smash is pretty decent enough, right? So I think she's gonna still be like A+, but maybe there was a case for her being S prior to the nerfs. Jack in Heat has a 10 frame heat smash. 10 frame heat smash is very, very good. And it's got a lot of reach, and it hits hard, and he can guard break into it. I don't want to put him up here, but maybe he gets bottom S just because of a 10 frame heat smash. I feel like it's just a heat smash. I don't know, I'll put him here. Realm, thank you so much for 7 months, thanks. Because it's still a high, right? Okay, Leo. Leo has good heat engagers. Leo has... What the hell does Leo do in heat? I don't give a shit about this character. Steve, this heat feels kind of garbage to me. Let's see, I don't like the heat smash. This is just my personal experience. The insta duck into throw mix-up, these throws can be broken. It's a 50-50. It consumes a ton of heat. It's a bit of a commitment because you gotta do this into a throw. It's a big commitment. They can break the throw, costs a lot of heat. I mean, in my opinion, Steve's heat is basically... And this is what I see from good Steve players also. It's a heat burst, and then they do Sonic Fang, hope it hits, or take it on block. That's all I see from the Steve players. It's an opportunity to do a safe Sonic Fang. No, with big frames. That's it. I want to put him in B. Am I insane? Maybe I'm insane. I'm gonna do that. Claudio, the most important thing about his heat is that he gets access to a power low with good reach, good damage, and it's not launch punishable on block. It's only -14. Very plus on block strings that are very hard to deal with. He gets a super beefed up Superman punch. He gets a launching DP, and he gets a projectile style attack. His forward on counter it now leads to significantly higher damage as well. The question is if this bad boy is S in heat, to be honest. His heat is very strong, I think. His heat is very strong. Let's see. Zafina in heat does Azazel Claw. Again, I never play this character. I never play against this character. What does she do in heat? You know what? I can't have an opinion on this character. I don't know. And even the people in the chat don't fucking know. Paul in heat. First off, really good heat engagers. Many of them, not forward 2, but I think pretty much every other heat engager leaves you in a position where you have to take a guess between, is he gonna demo man or is he going to death fist? And that's a really fucking strong mix-up for Paul. At round start, if you land a heat engager, you know, you run in on your opponent, now they are in range of that wall, where if they duck now, they guess he's gonna demo man, and you death fist. Now this super death fist when you're in heat, you've seen this probably, it's gonna wall splat them from super far away. It has the same effect as Jin's heat smash, right? Bagoosh, on the wall they go, and if a Paul player knows the combo, this is gonna be around, 60%. If a death fist counter hits, or if Paul is in rage, you're looking at 75%. It's a big old bagoosh. And also important to know is that if Paul does a demo man, this is also a low with a significant amount of wall travel. He can wall splat you, not from that range, but you can be pretty far away from the wall, but you're back towards it, and he demo mans, and you end up on the wall. So for that reason alone, Paul is very scary in rage. And that death fist, if you block it, is -13 with big pushback. Most characters can't punish that. A few can, but most can't. So technically safe-ish. It can be sidestepped, but not after a heat engager where you're -17. It just doesn't work. So that alone is huge. He also gets a buffed up demo man. That's his heat smash when he's in heat. That has significantly more reach than his normal demo man. And is only -12 on block. Very strong. And then, of course, he gets access to his charge-up attacks. And now we can talk about down 1-2 charge-up. But the one we want to talk about the most, that you probably get hit with the most, is the Oki setup one. Post-bound, usually, or on a wall, back 2, slams you into the ground, and then he starts charging up that 1. And you go, what do I do now? And then it just fucking bagooshes you, and you lost the round. It does a fuck ton of damage. The way you counter this is to hold, you need to hold back, to do a back roll, get back roll, to stand back to your feet, and then you can jab interrupt him, or dick jab. If he does this at the wall, you can now sidewalk it and hit him between his butt cheeks and get a huge punish. You can't do that in the neutral, however, because that back 2, if it's not a wall to stop you, it knocks you back so far that he will track your sidewalk with that charge-up punch, and you're going to die. And of course, if you block that charge-up punch, you are at -12 on block, and he gets a guaranteed back 1-2 or shoulder, and into the wall you go, and now you die. His damage is also very high when he's in heat, with Death Fist into dash, etc. Paul in heat, I'm going to have to put him in S. I think he's very, very strong. And it's almost like the heat system was designed with him in mind. It's just heat in general just synchronizes so well with Paul. So I'm going to put him there. Not a very strong character in general, but the heat stuff is like, oh yeah, it works. It also has to be mentioned that he has a 1 break throw. So that's down for the 1 free. Into it heat, you can do a Death Fist out of that. In heat, that Blue Spark Death Fist also wall splats from a kilometer away. A lot of people don't know that. And that's a 1 break throw. So that's very good. And then Hwoarang is probably looking at an S tier as well. Speaking of characters where heat was sort of designed for them, super mashy character. Super mashy with gigantic frames. What does heat do? What's the one thing heat does? In general, it adds chip damage to all of your moves. In Tekken 8, certain enhanced moves like Patricide Fist have an effect where they do chip damage. Devil Fist does chip damage. But when you're in heat, all of your attacks do chip damage. And when 80% of your moves are +5 on block, heat kind of works in your favor, I would say. And then, strong heat smash, strong heat engagers, devastating 50-50 when in heat from Flamingo. Flappy kicks turn into counter-hit launchers from a 10 frame. A standing 2, flappy kicks is a launcher. down back 4 on counter it. You can't. Hwoarang players will do key charge setups with this. They knock you down, key charge, and then as you get back to your feet, down back 4 is a counter hit launcher. Right foot forward, down foot 4 is a counter hit launcher. Standing 2 is a counter hit launcher. Azucena. What I think about immediately is the fact that Libertador now leaves, not only evades when she's in heat, but gives guaranteed follow-ups. Knockdown into guaranteed hit or straight up launches. The heat smash is bad though. It's always been super steppable. One of the few heat smashes that from the get-go felt very steppable. I just don't see her going very high. Lars gets his armor dash, which is really annoying. He gets beefed up 50-50 mix-ups from his new stance. The 2-1 stance. I don't remember what the stance is called. Beefed up 50-50. The heat smash is annoying because he flies into it. Limited entry, right? Limited entry. Thank you. LE. But I don't know. It's like, how good are those mix-ups? Lars just in general strikes me as pretty underwhelming. Oh god, Eddie. One of the worst heats in the game, probably. 3-4, right? Turns into a launcher, but it's very steppable. Heat smash is very steppable. I mean, I guess forward 3 turns into a launcher and counter it, but very, very scaled damage. Eddie is broken. Oh, okay. I'm learning from my chat every day. Eddie is broken. Okay. Victor. Oh god, this would be S tier if it wasn't for patch 105. Expulsion was greatly nerfed, but Expulsion is still good. Power Crush is still good. Stands down too. He gets a low heat smash, which he needs. So maybe A+. Asuka in heat. All I see them do is heat smash or double fist or double knuckle or whatever. I'm just gonna put her here. I see nothing special about that. Raven gets a projectile that has limited reach that you can sidewalk. Raven's clones are now safe instead of punishable. But is that it? Hellfire. Yeah, I don't know what's good about it. It just feels gimmicky to me. Devil Jin. Oh, well, you know. Vanilla Tekken 8. Make no mistake. Devil Boy is up there, right? I don't know why I did Borat. I mean, I think it's probably Devil Jin's sexy face. But where does Devil Jin go now? So the Psycho Crusher lost a ton of reach, and it is no longer homing. So in my opinion, that heat smash is now bad. I consider it bad. Outside of that, he does CD 1+2 into laser, which does limited damage and is very slow. He can do a Morning Crow Unbreakable Throw, which is very easily sidestepped. I think the reason people eat that, you know, when you see Momo do his garbage setups that work, because no one's ever fucking seen them before, because no one plays Devil Jin anymore. It's just Momo. No one else plays the character. And then Momo sits 8 hours per day in his boys' room, or whatever it's called, you know. He's a young man. He just sits there and labs in practice mode, 8 hours per day, just setups. What's a new setup I can do into throw? And then when you play against Momo, you're like, what is this? What is he doing? And then you lose. Because he just does setups. But I don't blame him, because that's all the character has right now. But is it strong? I don't think it's strong. And that's what Devil Jin has turned into. Because they so nerfed into the ground his neutral game and his fundamental tools. Nerfed into the fucking ground. So about his heat, double heat smash, Psycho Crusher not good, Unbreakable Throw pretty good, but mostly because no one sees it coming. Is it actually good? It loses to the tiniest sidestep. Granted, you can mix that with the 2-2. It's true. He can Morning Crow 2-2 into launch or plus frames. That's good. That's homing mid. The CD 1+2 I find too slow. It's not that good. The Hell Sweep isn't really buffed in heat. Maybe he used to be here, but now he's like A. He's probably A. So yeah, we're gonna skip Zafina because I don't really know where to put her. And this is now 56 minutes, so almost an hour. I think I gave every character except Zafina and Leo something. I gave my thoughts on them. I think this is a pretty good list. So again, this was a Heat tier list. So it's not how strong is this character in general, it's how strong are they with the Heat mechanic specifically. So that's why Kazuya is this high, for example, or Hwoarang is this high, or Paul is this high. Typically, they would find themselves lower on a list. I'm pretty happy with this, so I hope you enjoyed this, and yeah, have a great day, everyone. Moscow.